What if your rock bottom was the initiation? What if your collapse wasn't a failure, but a doorway? I'm Ginny, Priestess mentor and modern mystic, and this episode is personal. Today, I am sharing my story, the unraveling, the losses, and the Magdalene moments that pulled me back into my body and into my truth. Welcome back, priestesses and homies. Today, I'm telling you the story behind the work. Definitely not the polished version because that's not me, but the real one. The breakdown, the spiral, the ache. This is the path I walked before I ever called myself a priestess. Before I knew what the rose lineage was, and definitely before I trusted my voice again. It started with my collapse. It did not start with candles and ceremonies. My journey started with chaos. I can feel it in my heart. Addiction, grief, codependency, motherhood, a partner in active addiction, a sister who died while pregnant, a man I once loved who overdosed and left this earth. It was heartbreak stacked on heartbreak. And each one came with a collapse, but I just kept getting up, kept refusing to collapse. But then came the collapse of the collapses. And with this one, there was a moment I realized I was disappearing in the name of being the strong one, the responsible one, the good girl. And this is when I picked up the book Codependent No More by Beattie. This book changed my life and it wrecked me because I saw every place I abandoned myself to survive. It cracked me open, not necessarily all at once, but enough to start seeing what was actually mine and what was never meant to be carried. What hurt the most was the accountability that I had to take and my responsibility for my role in being where I was in life and my role in enabling these relationships I was in. The turning point wasn't one lightning bolt moment. It was layers, pieces. There was EMDR therapy, CBT therapy, lots of therapy, breath work, a lot of rage and grief. There were days when all I could do was cry on the floor. But that floor became my altar. And I tell you, I couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't shower. I was at points where I was completely non-functioning. And somewhere in all of it, the Magdalene showed up. Not in stained glass, not in perfection, but in the ache, in the rawness, in the blood and the breath and the tremors in my hands. My body remembered her, and in remembering her, I remembered me. Now, this sounds really beautiful, but I went kicking and screaming. I remember trying to quit spirituality and I wanted to go back to Muggle life. I was like, fuck all this shit. I'm done. But I could not unremember. I couldn't turn off the codes that were reactivating within me. I couldn't avoid the awakening of the priestess within me. I didn't plan this life, but I had no choice but to follow the breadcrumbs, the dreams, the books falling off shelves, placing their way in my path, the conversations that made my whole body tingle, the moments that made no logical sense but cracked me open. Like literally cracked me open. I could feel the cracking open in my chest. It was very uncomfortable, very painful. And the Rose lineage did not ask for performance. In fact, it was asking me to quit the performance. What it was asking for was presence, for truth, for devotion. And that is what I found. Slowly, extremely painfully, but also extremely beautifully. The priestess path is anything but about being perfect. It's about being honest, about walking with grief in one hand and power in the other. It's about becoming the woman I needed when I was drowning. So to the woman listening, to you who maybe feels like you're falling apart, you are not broken. You are in the midst of initiation. So breathe, cry, rage, rest. Let it all be sacred. And when you are ready to rise, know that I am here, not above you, but beside you, with you. Next week, we are diving into Magdalene's teaching for the modern woman and what it means to live with sacred voice, sacred sexuality, and sacred grief. Until then, trust the spiral, my love. XOXO, Ginny.